Good morning.
Hello.
And welcome to the Weekender. Yes, I'm Warren and I'm joined of course by Lloyd and Justin, and we're here for your Saturday morning gaming goodness.
Did you notice that he didn't introduce me as brother Lloyd?
No, or
Have you disowned him?
or the fabulous Justin either.
Who has actually shaved in winter?
Yes,
Yes.
I see that. My other half was asking the other day, she says, why does Warren always introduce you as Brother Lloyd? I was like, I don't know.
Because
See,
you are brother Lloyd.
You don't exactly look like each other. Let's be honest
Are you
here.
scoring brownie points here, are you?
No. well, at least neither of you is asking which is the ugly one.
Anyway, as you can see, we are in the snug once again. Because
If we decided to shoot out here today, the freezer balls off.
Warren, there's no such thing as bad weather, only inappropriate clothing. Idiot!
yeah,
Idiot.
I think that kind of sums it up. So I have hot chocolate for Justin.
Yes,
Try it. I made that one specially for you this morning.
Did you gob in it?
No, it's frothy. I'll tell you what made the froth later.
I'm worried.
Go on.
That is lovely.
You like that?
What has made it?
What?
What has made it?
I'll tell you later.
Oh,
Just
okay. Setting the cup down, moving slowly
enjoy.
away.
So we have our coffees, and of course Justin, he doesn't drink coffee because he's still a little tiny boy, so he has a
I
hot
just don't
chocolate.
like the taste.
It's coming up to Christmas, guys, so we'll all be drinking hot chocolate soon enough. First things first, I'd like to thank the fabulous response I had last week to the call out for anybody that wanted to get involved in contributing news and articles and things like that to Beasts of War. We were pretty overwhelmed actually by the number of people that said, well, yeah, I want to help. So we've been reaching out to everybody. If I haven't reached out to you, it's because you're crap. No, it's not. It's because I've missed you. So because I'm pretty much, I think I've went through everyone. If you haven't heard a response from me, ping me again at warren@beast4.com. This week I'm putting another call out. I've been doing lots of little call outs because we've people helping us trying to track down some Android devices to test apps and other cool mobile stuff on.
The Machiavellian mind is at work.
So there's people helping us track down Android devices and iOS devices. If you can help with that, please, by all means, give us a shout at warren@beastofwar.com because we're trying to track down devices to help us do the testing and stuff like
make
that
sure
for the
everything works
development.
before it's sent out to the masses.
Yeah. But my big call out this week is I'm on the hunt for someone to become like a master of ceremonies for Beasts of War. Yes, I'm looking for an event manager, but not an event manager in the traditional sense. So this is not about doing physical events necessarily, although it might be a little bit of that. This is about organizing global online kind of events. So if you fancy having a go at that, you can work from anywhere in the world. It's all about organizing kind of tournaments that would take place online, or online narrative campaigns and things like that would take place online. I'm after somebody who would like to get their teeth into that, to work with us, to do stuff.
So some form of social network guru.
Well, no, do you know what? The social networking side is not such an issue because we're not too bad at the social networking side anyway. This is somebody just with the organizational skills and the creativity and presence of mind to work out, actually, when you have people distributed all around the world, here's cool ways that we can do events to get everybody doing something. Okay?
I know exactly how this would be done. Teleporters.
No.
Yeah.
Look, it takes a while for science fiction to become science fact. We haven't got there just yet.
Actually, we have.
What?
They have done teleportation at the quantum level, Justin.
Okay.
That means they could teleport your brain.
Oh, come on. Come on.
So anyway, if you fancy becoming the Beasts of War event guru, master of ceremonies, working alongside us to do some really cool stuff, a lot of it you're going to help create and come up with, drop an email to warren@beastsofwar.com. And Justin, I'll be watching this episode to make sure that that actually does come up on the screen.
Why, what didn't come up?
Well, last time you had something like bunny rabbits just jumping around, you know, doing all sorts of strange things.
I do like throwing in the odd little Easter egg.
Anyway, I'm working from a scribbled running order. There's something I want to talk about. Okay, you're drinking
Hot chocolate,
your hot chocolate.
delicious.
We have our Bing Crosby fire.
Which is far too hot. Far too hot.
Why do you think I keep sitting on this side?
It's-
As soon as he leans forward, it blocks the heat and I get a little jet of cool air.
Why don't you move
melting.
closer?
No, like,
It's
no.
melting.
I like you, but not like that.
That can mean only one thing.
What?
With the change of weather we've had, and apparently we're due a cold snap,
Oh, goody.
that this winter is going to be like the coldest winter on record. This is kind of mini ice age type stuff
Okay.
apparently we're talking about here, okay? That could mean us three buried in a house with only enough beer and games to last us for 3 months.
Justin doesn't drink beer.
Enough beer to last me and you for 4 months.
Probably more like 8, because I can really only handle 1 beer these days.
Enough beer to last me for 4.5 months. Right. It's Christmas time.
Yeah.
It's Christmas time.
No, it's not yet.
Okay,
get
guys, this is what we're going to do, right? In the next episode, yes, in the next episode, whenever that will be, and I'll explain to you why later, we're going to do a special segment for everybody's either other halves or non-gaming friends to tell them exactly what to buy us all for Christmas.
Good idea.
Okay? Because, let's be honest, we've all had our Christmas mornings where we've been utterly disappointed.
What, socks? Come on.
Yet socks, to be fair, socks are useful. Getting a GW paint station,
Really?
you know, so it's like... So what we want to do is we're going to create a segment in the next episode that you get your other half and you sit him or her down, okay, or your non-gamer friends or your non-gamer mum and dads, and you say, they made this segment just for you. Sit down and watch. So, to get things fired up, I want you guys to put in the comments what we think are going to be the ultimate gamers' Christmas presents. Now, they do these things, these kinds of lists, all over the press, where they have the must-have toys of 2013.
Yes, the men's ultimate gadget. All this crap.
Yes. I want to know what is the ultimate present for 2013 for someone who's into gaming. And do you know what? I'm going to start with you guys. So, Justin, you're probably the easiest of us all to please.
It has to be Firefly.
You see, I knew he'd have an answer just straight off the
No.
tip of his tongue.
It's simple. It's a great game so far. The UK version's going to be ready for Christmas. It's perfect. You know, and we really enjoyed playing our games on
Yeah.
the site here. And honestly, I want to have a copy for myself to take home and take out to my non-gamer friends to introduce them to it, because there are a lot of them who are Firefly fans.
Whoa.
What?
You're going to introduce Oh. Okay.
My
the rest,
non-gamer
the
friends.
rest of your sentence registered. You're going to introduce non-gamer Firefly fans
Yes.
to gaming via Firefly, the board game.
Exactly.
Do you know what? I can't fault that logic at all. If it had been non-gamer friends who also know bugger all about Firefly,
No, that would be a little point. Yeah,
Yeah.
just a little bit.
that probably
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
I'll give you a box of Monopoly.
It's streets ahead of Monopoly.
It is incredibly. Yeah. I'm not comparing Firefly to Monopoly. I'm
But
just
it does
comparing
take a little bit of time.
roots in. So, Justin, that's a fair enough point. And I think currently, as it stands, you've managed to pick the number one game, the number one gift.
See,
of
here's your problem with
2013.
your logic right now.
Yeah.
I've also picked the first game.
Yes. Oh,
So it kind of doesn't work.
that's why it's number one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll have to wait and see for a week or so until
Yeah.
see what happens.
You need to come closer to me, otherwise you're not going to be in the show.
Whoops.
Side on closer.
Uh-oh.
Ludwig,
Yes.
what about yourself?
I've been thinking about it a bit since you mentioned it all of 3 seconds ago. But I'm thinking about it. If it wasn't for me, if I was trying to get somebody else into gaming, I would definitely go X-Wing. See the box set? Mm-hmm. Brilliant.
Really?
It is. You just crack it open and you get on with it. It comes with a cracking set of quick start rules that gets you playing straight away. Even before you've finished popping all the bits out, pick up the quick start rules and you get on with it. Mm-hmm. It's class for that. There is one downside.
You're a massive fan of this X-Wing.
I do like this X-Wing.
X-Wing, by the way, is game of the weekend. I may as well get it out there. You've probably seen that from the full page spreads we've done for this show. So
There is only one little downside to it, right? And it's a class starter box, but you kind of grow out of your starter box
very quickly.
Because it comes with 2 ties and 1 X-Wing,
yes.
right? It's great to get you up and going, oh, we're playing in minutes.
Yeah.
You're getting the hang of it, within an hour you've got pretty much the hang of everything.
Yeah.
You've got the hang of the quick start rules because some people just need a little bit of time, if they're not a gamer, to get into the way of spinning the disc and then going this way and that way. And sometimes, they'll spin the disc and they'll put it down.
Do you know what? If this is going over the top of anybody's head here, don't worry because we're going to force him to show us what the hell he's talking about later in the show.
Right. So
you'll spin the disc and they'll go the wrong
go
way.
to the middle point. What are you driving at?
My point is, because you only get the 2 TIE fighters and 1 X-Wing, it very quickly becomes a case of there's 2 TIE fighters chasing the X-Wing. So what you want to do is you want to get 2 people into the game.
So what you and me did.
And do exactly what me and Justin did. I bought a starter set, he bought a starter set.
Yep.
I gave him my X-Wing, he gave me the ties, and suddenly you've got a game that's
A little different.
so much better.
Yeah. It feels a lot more tactically challenging that way. And it's still not too heavy to confuse you.
You're not heavily outnumbered 4-on-2.
No.
No, because the X-Wings are so
2
tough.
shields, 3 hull points. Ties don't have any shields, and what have they got? 3 hull points? Or
Something
2
like
hull
that.
points?
And then if you're clever with your X-Wings, you'll load in R2-D2 to one of them. Every time you do a green maneuver, you regenerate a shield.
They balance up, and because you've got the 2 of them moving about, let's not go into too much detail because this is supposed to be game of the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, because you've got 2, it suddenly becomes a lot more interesting because you're moving about and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's if I was trying to get somebody else into gaming. If anybody wants to buy me anything for Christmas, I'll have Gears of War, the board game, please.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
I'm having severe withdrawal symptoms. The new consoles are coming out and there's no new Gears, and I'm sitting there,
Yeah.
X to this.
I'll have Gears of War, the board game, please. He says directly in the camera with a longing hope that someone out there is going to send it to him. We'll have to talk to Fantasy Flight, will we?
I haven't even had a sniff of it. I haven't seen it or anything. I haven't seen anybody play it. I haven't met anybody who's played it. I'm gutted. I thought it would be a big... Because the set looks class, so Gears of War, the board game for me.
Well, I don't know is the simple answer to this. I really don't know. I have one game which is kind of crept to the top of my list, but the difficulty is at this stage I still don't know enough about it. But I was very, very excited. It was on Kickstarter. It was called Myth, and it was made by the guys from Merck's Minis. And the reason I like that is, as any viewer, a long-time viewer of the show will know, I'm a huge fan of tabletop adventure games. We call them dungeon crawlers. These days I'm calling them tabletop adventures because you now have the ability to go down into mines and things like that with Shadows of Brimstone, which is doing unbelievably well on Kickstarter.
It's going ridiculously strong.
So that Myth game with its little AI deck and stuff like that there really, really appealed to me. But it's
a wee looker too. Sharp looking.
Yeah.
Do you not think it's very interesting though that this is where I think this month represents Beasts of War's 5th anniversary? Okay?
Right.
And when we kicked off, I think the first thing that we ever unboxed was some of the GW Planet Strike stuff or something like that.
Yeah, I
or
think
Apocalypse stuff.
First ever build video you did, which I think was the first series that ever came out, was it was a Baneblade or a Shadow Sword.
Yeah.
One of the big Imperial Guard ones.
So here we are 5 years later. On top of each of our wish lists is a board game. How strange is that? It's like we're not asking for Titans, although I'm
You
a
wouldn't
massive
say no.
fan of Titans.
You wouldn't say no.
I really am. We're not asking for Land Raiders, Storm Ravens,
Colossals.
Colossals and things like that. When it comes to Christmas, it always comes back to an old favorite, and that's it. is board games.
Something you can
And
get
board
together
games
and all
having
have fun with.
such a renaissance. And this will be interesting as you guys start to list all your comments on YouTube and on beastsofwar.com. I wonder how many of them will be board games, because the classic gifts and stuff like that for Christmas, the likes of Games Workshop and whatnot have pushed, which has been very intelligent, have been things like paint stations, paints, army bags or army cases and things like that.
The utility pieces.
But the great
Yeah.
thing about board games is if you give it to someone for Christmas, it's all there to play with.
And the board games, for example, any of those 3 board games we've discussed, and pretty much any board game that's ever talked about on Beasts of War, you could give that to anybody, and they wouldn't be disappointed unless they already had it.
And even if they already had it, it could be a collector's piece.
If they already had it, there's every chance, especially on the likes of the adventure board games, that 2 sets of it is actually just as useful or even more useful than having 1 set of it.
No, just do what I do. Wrap it up and give it away.
No, well, you see, it's also like...
So that penguin jigsaw that I got for Christmas last year had been given to you the year before.
Well, this is what you do at Christmas, especially if people give your presents early. You open them all up, see what they are, rewrap them out and redistribute them.
No.
Yeah.
I enjoy Christmas, don't I?
He is such a bah humbug.
I just say no. I know exactly what I'm getting you for the Christmas special. Big black Santa hat with just bah humbug across the forehead.
Yep.
You did buy me a Christmas present last year.
What was it?
You bought me one of those
Oh yeah, the t-shirt thing. Hang on,
electronic
it's better
t-shirts.
than what he got. He
lights-
got a £1 DVD.
It lights up to music. Unfortunately, then you did your striptease dance in front of me to light it up.
No, I
Remember
did
that?
not. You liar! I called you a liar.
You were there
sir.
going, is it lighting up, Lloyd? Is it lighting up?
Well, guys, this is it. This is our hunt for what is the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We maybe do a top 10. What is the countdown for the best gifts for Christmas?
Should really be 12 days of Christmas.
Well, do you know, if
12 games of Christmas?
If we can extend to 12, we'll do 12. But what I want to know is, what are they? So get your thinking caps on and get them posted below. And in the next episode, we're going to do a segment specifically geared towards your non-gaming friends, wives, husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, fiancés, grannies, grandas, mums, dads,
Brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles,
guardians, whatever you've got. If they've got the dough, we want to show them how to spend it properly on you. Isn't that a great Christmas present for Beasts of War? We can't reach out and touch everybody, not in that way.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
we did it one year whenever we let everybody have our Conquering Overlord's Cursed Killers. You know, we might be able to do something like that this year again, you know.
You're working on so many levels there.
But, you know, what better way for Beasts of War to help everybody by telling their other halves how to spend their money properly on them?
Do you hear that? Not suggesting. Telling!
Telling.
Yeah, but you see, here's the thing. People who are outside the hobby and see us in the hobby and want to get as a gift. How many parents have walked into a GW and went, he likes the green ones. Oh, so that's salamanders or orcs. Huh?
That's why I'm saying board game.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
all
but-
the bits are there and you can't buy it wrong. This is, for example, if I'm playing Elder and my parents went into a gaming shop and brought me home Tau, I'd be like, I don't play Tau. But if they bought me a board game, I'd be looking at, well, all the bits there, I'll play this.
Yeah, but it's the thing. They don't know what you're like in specific games. Is the point I'm trying to make.
Right.
Onward?
We'll put it to bed.
Yep.
On the subject of a Christmas present for me, okay, there's a little tiny Kickstarter out there going on at the moment. I say it's tiny because at the moment it hasn't made very much. It's not gaming related, but I want to bring it up because I just think it's lovely.
Okay.
It's from a little animation house, okay, and they want to create a short film called Essence, okay. We'll bring up some stuff of Essence for you to have a look at. But the basics of Essence is there's a terminally ill man and he's dying. And he's,
Sounds Christmassy.
well, a lot of these things are. He's riddled with regret, okay, at never making the mark in his life, never accomplishing that thing, whatever that thing might be in his life. And he passes away. But to his joy, he's reincarnated. Instantly reincarnated. And he thinks to himself, I have that chance. I have that chance to rectify that one thing, that to be remembered, you know, to have achieved that one thing. But then the horror sets in as he realizes he's been reincarnated as a flame. So he only has a few moments.
That's a little weird.
He only has a few moments in which to do it, to achieve this thing. And this animation is about this story and what he goes on to do.
Why does he only have a few moments? Is someone going to blow him out?
Well, a flame only has fleeting moments. It's so it's just a flame on a candle. He only has a few moments left.
He doesn't have until the candle burns away.
Well,
I think that's kind of what they're inferring.
so it's don't spoil the story. So,
It's an interesting concept. The art style of it's going to be really cool.
the art style of
it.
it, the art style of it's beautiful. This studio have won awards for stuff that they've done previously. They've started a little Kickstarter. They don't need very much to get this going, but I just thought, what a lovely story. Every now and again something comes along on Kickstarter, which is truly deserving, I feel, of the Kickstarter.
Yeah, it's one of those things that makes you feel good to drop in on.
Yeah.
The other thing is I actually like animated shorts. I find them quite interesting. You sit down and you get like 5-10 minutes and you're sitting there absorbing it thinking, ooh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We all hop into Kickstarters and things like that for games, but we're doing that, let's be honest, guys, we're all doing that for our benefit because we want to get big, fat deals, okay? Yeah. In this instance, what you're getting out of it is a beautiful piece of animation, something that you can say, I helped
create that.
The creation of that in a small way, in a fleeting moment kind of a way. And that's why I think it's well worth bringing to your attention. So if you can, head on over to that and have a look at it because it's beautiful, and I think the story is beautiful as well.
There was one I liked, a short film, The Passenger. That's a good one. I like it anyway. I like it because they're using Lightwave, and Lightwave is a 3D software I like. But the guy gave up his job, and he spent like 7 years making this.
Right.
And he kept jumping in and out of like little part-time jobs and trying to get grants and stuff. So it took him like 7 years to make his, 5-minute animation. But you kind of watch it and you go, okay, it's not the best thing I've ever seen. But if you read the background, you think this guy spent 7 years building this, making this thing. You go, bravo, worth the effort.
Well, when you consider the hundreds of hundreds of animators and that go behind any kind of like Pixar creation, it's incredible
entire studios of people.
Yeah, it's massive. So I'm a big fan of small studios because I think there's so much creativity within the small studios. I'd like to see it realized. Another Kickstarter I wanted to talk about is called what I call it Vikings. I'm sure it has an official name, but it's an awesome papercraft game. Okay, so what has happened? These guys have had this kind of like mobile game that they've been working on, and the Kickstarter has nothing to do with the mobile game. But the mobile game is these Vikings that are going out and pillaging and being attacked by sea monsters, etc.
Yep.
So what they've done is their other big passion is papercraft. And they've created these beautiful, beautiful little Viking ships. I say they're little, they're about this size, okay? With all the sails, all full color, okay? With all the dice, everything is in the papercraft.
Yeah, even the little guys who are just essentially little blocks.
Little cubes, little Viking cubes.
Viking cubes, yeah.
Yeah. So what it is you set this up and they have all the rules and you play it across the floor. This is why I'm particularly enamored with this one because I can see myself and the kiddies playing this.
Especially if you've a wooden floor.
And see, I hear papercraft, I hear floor. Are you just standing behind these with a hairdryer, just blowing them across the floor?
I'm surprised you even know what a hairdryer is.
Yes, Justin. What would you ever use a hairdryer for?
What would you ever use a hairdryer for?
I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
Sure. Right. So it's a cracking looking thing. So what they're trying to do is they have kind of like the core sets of this design, but they have plans for krakens and big Viking ships and little Viking ships that'll only be realized if they get backing on Kickstarter. So it's well worth a look if you fancy something a bit different.
The cool thing is it's papercraft, so you can opt in on a level where you're printing it yourself, but there are other levels you can opt in and they'll send you it.
Well, what they're trying to do is to raise enough money to be able to do proper production runs of it, where it all comes to you in a kind of cut fashion.
Yep. So
you don't need glue, you don't need staples,
no staples.
sellotapes, you don't need anything. It just all folds together.
And if I remember from what I was seeing on the Kickstarter right, they actually have a couple of short production runs up for grabs as early bird stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so they already have some made up, so if people are in quick enough, they can get it before everybody else and have a go with it.
Yeah. It's one that I think is well worth a back in, because I'm just a massive fan of papercraft as it is anyway. It's one of the things I particularly like, and with the success of battle systems, you know, we're going to see some. I think we're on the cusp now of seeing some really cool kind of card games, papercrafty games, and card terrain and stuff like that as well. It's a great part of the hobby, and I particularly like that. Okay, this week we're going to be doing a lot of XCOM. We're going to be playing the game Enemy Within, and we're going to be playing the original game Enemy Unknown. We have some interviews, we have some giveaways in terms of t-shirts, and then, of course, on the table we have 50 codes. 50 Steam codes.
That's right, 50.
50.
What?
50 Steam codes. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's like
That's a
holding
lot.
that's like holding your fingers up a lot of times.
Yeah.
No. It's,
So 3, 6, 9, 18. That's about £2,100
yeah.
worth of games
yeah.
we're giving away. So we have 50 codes for Enemy Unknown. We're going to be giving them away pretty sharpish, okay? And one of the things that we're going to do over the course of the coming week is we're going to be challenging you guys to some games of XCOM against us. We're going to be playing on Steam, and we're also going to be playing a little bit on Xbox Live as well. We're going to be playing both XCOM, the original game, but also we're going to be playing Enemy Within. When I say the original game, I mean Enemy Unknown, the recent.
Yeah, not the old
Not
one.
the old Amiga one.
What?
Although
Not
that'd be
UFO?
cool. Not UFO, no. So if you fancy getting involved in that, we're going to have a link below to a little form where you can give us your email address, your Steam username, your Xbox Live username, and then we're going to be sending out emails and things like that to say, guys, we're coming on tonight from such a time to such a time. We're going to give out our Steam names and Xbox Live names as well. And we just want to get loads of games in.
Right. One question, just to clarify to everybody. We're playing against them on Enemy Unknown.
It might change, okay?
Okay.
So on Steam, we'll be playing against you on Enemy Unknown. We might do a night with Enemy Within on Steam, possibly. And on Xbox Live, we'll probably do Enemy Within.
Okay.
But we'll do that after it actually comes out.
Right.
To give some people some chance to go and get it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Hence my call out for an event manager. This is the kind of things that we want to be doing. For anyone that beats us, me and Lloyd, not him.
Excuse me, I'm reasonably decent at the game.
Are you good at the game?
I'm reasonably decent.
Okay, for anyone that beats him, okay, and him, but not me, we're going to be giving away, we've got really cool XCOM t-shirts.
Cool.
Okay, so we're going to be giving away t-shirts as kind of rewards for those that do decimate us in the game. So it's...
We're going to need a lot of t-shirts then, aren't we?
Yeah,
You just said anyone. You should really limit that to some of you.
Some of you will get t-shirts. Enough that we have a pile of t-shirts. This many people will get t-shirts.
And if you're tiny, too bad, you'll have to wear this extra large one.
Yes, we picked up gamer sizes. So I tried each and every one of them on. But if you're an arsehole to us, you won't get anything. I'm telling you now, okay? If I see anybody corpse humping me or anything like that...
Sportsmanship.
Yes.
Right.
I will not settle for any 12-year-old making me feel this high. That was why I left gaming first time round.
Right, lads, anyone who does that to Warren, I will get you one personally. I will steal it if I have to. I'm joking.
So yes, we're looking forward to this. It's this is a kind of a foray we're doing into video games. I explained in the last episode, one of the things we want to do is to widen things out, where we can get the crossover stuff between video gamers and gamers like us, real gamers. And one of the keys of this was XCOM, because it's so tabletop
Yeah, it's essentially a digital tabletop
It
game.
is. It is. It's the best of the digital. It's the best tabletop game I've ever played in a video game. I really, really like it, and I've enjoyed Dawn of War, Civilization, and a lot of these games. I happen to like this one because it reminds me of Infinity.
It does.
It feels like Mercs or Infinity to me, and
Because it's so reactive.
Yes, and I
Throwing
really like
your
that.
smoke grenades and stuff.
Having your double tapping sniper going into Overwatch. Ping, ping.
Yep, that's if you haven't played it, if you've been out of video gaming for a while, like I was, it's a game where you have time to think, you have time to react, and you have time to strategize. You're not going to be. It's not like a FPS where
It's brilliant,
you get
in
pinged
fact.
off.
And you know why? Because you can shoot someone and go, where's my tea? I'll have a drink of tea while I think about my next move.
It's a relaxed, more...
And if you're not playing somebody online, that's fine. You're not winding anybody up either, going, I'm drinking tea. It's your turn, for God's sake, take
But
it.
there's more depth to it than that, because there's a whole engine behind the scenes where you're building this enormous base where you launch aircraft from it. You're doing research. You're dissecting bodies. You're recruiting new soldiers. It's just
You're
so
burying
much
your
going
dead. Did a lot of
Well,
that.
I'm not surprised because they spent years making it.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the guys have spent 8 years making it. Because I think it was 8 years because they'd started unofficially toying around with the idea of bringing it back.
As a lot of good games start that way, where developers have a passion for it, and
Whenever you have something that's touted to be remade, like, look at Duke Nukem Forever.
it took forever.
To get out.
Forever. Yeah.
Was it
And when
not,
it came out, it was Duke Nukem, but humour had kind of moved on by that point.
but was it not kind of shit?
That's kind of what I'm saying without saying it.
This is brilliant.
This is really good though.
No, I'm talking about Duke Nukem Forever being absolute garbage.
And the other thing is, I was reading about it, is apparently they had a couple sort of restart meetings.
Right?
Where
Yes.
one of the
For
lead
XCOM, yeah.
designers saying, this just isn't working for me. We're going to have to rethink this and rework how we've changed. We haven't changed the combat enough. And then they had another meeting thinking, well, I'm looking at the meta side of the game now and the base building and stuff. We've changed this too much. We need to go back to a more pure approach to what we had, which is interesting. So that they've jumped
But
2 or 3
see, that
directions
just
as they've
says to
molded
me
it.
they weren't too close to the project, not too in love with it.
Well, some people are, some people aren't, and that's where
It's the creative
if
balance.
you get a great team dynamic, they can work in and around that. Like we've seen that in our working lives over the years, where I can think of a lot of projects that we've been on, where we've kind of restarted those projects from scratch because the direction we were going, it just wasn't working. One of the things that we've always tried to work towards is fail fast. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
How am I still here then?
well,
Persistence, just
persistence. Yeah. So fail fast means we work towards something, but if it's not working, you try to be agile enough to turn it around.
Yeah, you switch to a different track.
Go a different track and try and take it, because there's no point in flogging a dead horse. So yes, go and comment on the table. Don't be silly. Take the 2 seconds now and go and comment on the table, and you could be one of those 50 winners. Other than that, if you already have the game or you're thinking, do you know what, I just want to get involved, go out and get the game and fill in the wee form just so that we can reach out to you and send you emails to let you know. We'll give you plenty of notice when we're going to be on and stuff like that, and we'll get some cracking nights gaming in. And we're going to be doing a little bit of filming and stuff like that in the background, and we're just going to have a lot of fun with this. So it's a great opportunity for us as a community to come together and
Have a laugh.
And that's what it's about. So massive thanks to 2K Games for getting involved with us in this. They've been very bold in this and taken an experiment with tabletop gaming site like
crossing
ours
over
to help us start this kind of crossover thing to see where it goes. They've been very, very patient with us. So a massive, massive thanks to the team at 2K Games. Also a big thanks to Roxio, who have also came on board out of nowhere, really, and are helping us with some hardware and stuff like that, and expertise and advice on terms of capturing and streaming footage and stuff like that there. So we might be able to do a bit of streaming, and certainly ongoing. So massive thanks to both those companies for getting involved with us. It's much appreciated. After all that talk of giving stuff away, Justin, I think it's time we actually gave some stuff away, mate.
Okay, well, We know what we're giving away.
Yeah, first up, the Kings of War Grand Prize.
Yes.
This was two 2,000-point armies. One of which was goblins.
No. One of
Undead.
which
I know,
was
I'm winding you
undead.
up.
The other was your choice.
Okay, so one of which is undead,
The other, the person gets to pick.
and the other you get to pick yourself. Okay, you'll get to work with the Mantic team. You'll get a chat with Alessio Cavatori. Probably James and myself will hop in on that as well, because Alessio would keep you talking till the end of the week. So we're going to give that away, and we have a winner. And the winner is Ninja Cat 99. So congratulations, mate. You are now the proud owner, or will be very soon, of two awesome Kings of War armies. And please keep in touch with us till we find out what you've done with them and what you went for. Next up, I want to give away these bad boys here.
The companion skulls.
The companion skulls.
If you didn't see these last week,
If you were watching last week's Weekender, we're giving away these companion skulls. So let me move that out of the way.
which
There
quite
we
probably
go.
have servos.
Yes, they're riddled with servos. They just look awesome. We got an amazing comment through where somebody said, could you guys at Beasts of War not find some way of putting a camera in this? That the camera shoots through the eye,
That's doable.
and then we take that to conventions with us.
And what, have our little skull cam. No, you
and have
see, we dress Sam in pure black and just have him run around with a brush handle with it on top.
Yes, because then it would make Sam still small, but slightly taller. Yeah. Well, whatever. Could we get a camera into that?
We could probably destroy a web camera.
Yeah.
It would probably fit in it, wouldn't it?
And well, then you'd have wires and stuff hanging out. You'd have to run around with a laptop or something like
Well,
that.
I don't-
We will find a way. But it's not only down to us, because two of you guys won it as well. Somebody from the main Weekender won it, and somebody on XLBS won it as well. So our winner on the front stage version of the Weekender is HK1X1. Well done, congratulations. We will get that out into the post to you as soon as you contact us and fill in your claim a prize form. And our backstager that won it, and a massive thank you to all the backstagers again for getting involved in that, was Evans970. So again, we'll get you to fill in a little claim form and send that across.
And if you don't know where the claim form submission is, so on Beasts of War, on the top bar, you'll see a little drop down called Contact Us.
So, a great prize. I got a question about if we have advertisers, why is it in every episode of the Weekender do I say that Beasts of War couldn't exist without the support of its backstagers? And I thought, do you know what, that's a very fair and interesting question. So it's one that I wanted to address on the show and try and put it into perspective. Beasts of War is working towards breaking even, basically. So as it, it covers the costs of what it takes to be able to do it in terms of server, power, rent, people, travel, as we'll be talking about in a in the XLBS. We're going to Nottingham, so if you want to meet up with us or get involved in that, join the XLBS.
Tune in tomorrow.
Yeah. But the basics of this is that backstage and advertising kind of make up proportions of it. No one thing on its own
Does it?
would cover what it needs to cover. The thing about advertisers, our advertisers are fantastic, and we're very careful with the advertisers and stuff that we bring on board. But as a group, as a community, we don't want to ever be over reliant on advertising. It's because an advertisers will always come with a certain amount of, I don't know.
A need for fulfillment.
Yes, they'll always come with a certain amount of, expectations is the word I'm looking for. Backstagers equally come with expectations, but their expectations are very different in terms of their nature than for advertisers. So if we didn't have backstage and Beasts of War was entirely advertising driven, I think
It would be a very different creature.
I think we'd call it a day, to be fair. Not because of the financial aspects of it, but because Beasts of War wouldn't be it wouldn't have that sense of being able to stand up on its own.
It's
The
independent.
backstagers give the backbone to Beasts of War. They give the Beasts of War the ability to be able to work in the industry and have the courage to work in the industry in a manner that allows us to retain that independence and try to push fairness and the credibility and things like that.
And not only that, push the coolness of it and all the rest.
Yeah, well, that too. So, what I'm trying to get across is that if it weren't for Backstage, Beasts of War, I don't think could exist. If it did exist, it would exist in a very different way than what it does exist. But my own personal take on this is that I don't think I would want to be. I wouldn't want to be doing something where we were entirely
Beholden
to advertisers. We have great advertisers, but it's worth building that in from the outset. So when I say about how important Backstage is and the support of Backstage, Backstage is vital to the survival of the project, but it's also vital to how Beasts of War is able to be seen and act within the community, and I mean the community as in the wider industry, because the stronger and more resilient we are, the easier it is to do what we do and to be able to work with companies and work with advertisers, but you're working with them, you're not working for them, and that is a major difference. That is a major difference. So hopefully that kind of gets across just why in every episode of The Weekender for a while now I've been kind of stating, and to be fair, maybe overstating why Backstage is so important. But I just wanted to take a moment because I know that somebody had asked that, and I thought, well, maybe others would be interested in that as well.
Nick, fair question, fairly answered. Simple as that.
Okay, so we've now come to that part of the show that we like to call Game of the Weekend.
Why always the jazz hands?
Because I just love it. I love Game of the Weekend. Game of the Weekend to me is just awesome. I spend most of my week looking forward to this part of the show because I just love either telling you guys about a game or hearing about a game. Today, I'm getting to hear about a game because Lloyd is going to wax lyrical about X-Wing. We have been long overdue getting this game onto the show in any kind of meaningful way. So this is kind of our first steps towards doing this. Now we were playing this on Monday night.
Yeah.
Monday night we had a kind of like a first get together of the embryo of what might become a club. I'm going to be talking at length about that in XLBS. So if you're interested in setting up your own club in your part of the world, please join Backstage and tune in tomorrow to the Weekender XLBS, where I'll be talking about that, and hopefully you'll get in touch and we can cooperate and coordinate on setting up clubs in whatever locations and try and do it together. So I love this.
Yeah.
I really do love this. Now you're going to talk us through just the kind of like the basic rules and what's in the box, etc. So,
Well, yeah, basically, okay. So, box lid's open. Let's start off with our manual,
okay.
which you don't need straight away because I'm going to pull out the next item.
Okay, so you can put the manual to one side then.
Is the quick start rules.
Okay.
And that's it. It's just basically,
Essentially an A4 double-sided of rules.
Is that it?
that's it, yeah.
Is it?
That's why you get up and running this game really quickly.
Yeah.
Especially considering it's all pre-paints. Good looking pre-paints at that.
Yes,
Yep.
really good looking pre-paints.
Some of the best out there at the minute.
Other stuff in there is all kind of like advertising-y kind of stuff.
And then we come to the core component of this game,
Yeah,
the flight path system,
right.
made up of all these little sort of
Well, let's move this out of the way so you can put these down. So
templates.
these are a core set of templates that basically show you where your aircraft or fighter or whatever is going, yes?
Yes. Have we got the number one? We should have a little tiny number one as well.
Well, you talk about them and I'll have a look for your number one. There it is there.
There we go, and that's a complete set now. So if we lay these in some sort of order.
So, shallow turns, tight turns, and straights.
Exactly. So we'll just that's your tight turns. 3,
Yep.
2, 1, and then you've got a more shallow turn as Justin has described it. Again,
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. And then you have your straight on moves.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was a great chocolate bar.
A what?
Okay.
5,
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I'm googling that.
And that's it. That's all you really need to do your movement, which is great. Rather than sitting and trying to work out and reading a lot of rules, you can grasp this pretty quickly.
So there's no tape measures, nothing
No,
like that.
nothing
so,
like
let's talk about the ships then. Okay. So in the core set, you get 1 X-wing and 2 TIE fighters.
And then we have the little bases that they go on.
So they go on bases. So let's get those bases together.
I'm looking for.
That's the next one.
Yeah, so if we could just pull the rookies out to begin with. You get different types of bases. It's all basically the same, but the numbers and things are different on them to represent different levels of pilot, and that's important when you start getting into the actual rules of the game.
Are there named pilots and stuff like that in the core set?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like all your ships have the same stat line aside from the pilot number. If I'm correct.
Just looking for it. Maybe Dark Curse.
2330.
Yeah, Dark Curse.
Yeah,
He's one
so
of the
Dark
TIE fighter
Curse,
pilots,
yeah.
isn't he?
Night Beast. So we have different pilots, and they're actually on each of the bases, and they then have a corresponding card. We're just trying. You can tell we've been playing with this.
Yes.
It's all higgledy-piggledy.
Yeah, but what's the best way to learn? Play the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So a base itself goes together with a plastic component at the bottom. You then choose your pilot insert. Okay, so this one is a rookie pilot for an X-wing, and it has his stats on it, a 23232. You then get these little plastic rods just here, and you put the plastic rods on. You can stack them plastic rods up, Lloyd, yes? So because you get multiples of them,
You can stack them up.
you stack it up, and then your X-wing just fits on the top. So you want to make sure that the nose of your X-wing is in this kind of arc here, because that is the direction of facing forward.
Okay.
Okay.
So, for example, there's the 2 cards we just talked about. There is Dark Curse
Yep.
and Night Beast,
Uh-huh.
and they are listed on their little base. So then you can see quickly, which pilot is which, and they have a different number, 6s and 5s and things. And that's the other great thing, is it comes with some brilliant artwork on these cards.
Yeah.
It's a great looking game. Let's try and get them under that.
So we can bring some of these
camera.
cards up on the screen, can't
I'll
we?
take care of
So
that.
there is some gorgeous looking artwork on it. It's So I wanted to talk a little bit about movement, Lloyd, because the game starts basically with 1 X-wing versus 2 TIE fighters. Okay, so the TIE fighter player, you each get these kind of little discs, and in these discs you rotate the back part of the disc, and that shows you your movement options.
Can you build us up 2 ties, Justin?
Yeah, of course.
Right, so
Here you
we
go.
can get-
There's a base for that.
if we can get 2 set up, we can just quickly demonstrate the flight path system,
Yes.
which is what makes the game essentially.
Right, now, the one
Okay.
thing to remind everybody of, there's a little front-facing V on the actual base there to show you which way your little insert goes into.
Okay. Yeah.
So you'll get this guy up and onto here. There he is.
So we take a disc. Let's just move some of this other stuff out of the way again, so we can see the basics of this. So each of our craft has a disc. So there's one for the TIE fighter, and there's one for the X-wing. Now the important thing to notice, let me just set that up straight, is their skill rating, which is the orange number on the base. Because the way the skill rating works is the lowest skill rating goes first. So you might have a mix of skill ratings in your your fleet or your attack wing, and they go in order of that skill rating, which means that you might move 1 item, then your opponent might end up moving 3 items before you get to move your final item. Okay.
Yeah, so for the sake of what we're doing here, we've got the rookie pilot for the X-wing, and the academy pilot for our TIE fighter.
Yep.
Okay, so that means he's skill 1 and he's skill 2, basically.
So each player takes their disc and decides what movement they're going to do privately. And then once they've decided what movement they're going to do, they put it down, upside down, beside the actual craft itself. Then it moves to the movement phase, at which point you unveil. Now Justin moves first because he's got a lower skilled pilot.
Yep.
So you would
What
flip
I've
that
decided
over.
to do is a red maneuver, which is a 3 and a flip.
Okay, so how does that work then?
So,
Right, so there it is.
yeah, 3
Right.
forward, and then it flips back on
Just
itself.
before we do that, there's 2 wee dots on the front of the base.
Yeah.
Okay, so you slot your wee template into the front of that, and then there's 2 wee dots right in the back. So you just lift it from one end and pop it on the other end.
So absolutely no need for tape measures or anything. It's all there for
And
you.
because Justin's done a flip, you just turn it round.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So he's now facing the other direction.
Which means hopefully when your X-wing swings across in front of me, I've got a shot at you.
Right.
So you're outthinking your opponent.
I get you. Once his movement's done, it's then time to unveil my movement, and I'm going to do a 4 with a flip.
Oh,
This,
you had the
So-
same idea.
So we get the 4. And I'll move you to there. But you flipped, so you're like that.
Yep.
So we're both on each other.
Yep.
And that's why this game moves pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because it's just every time it comes to turning, it's someone picking just off the dial by spinning it.
This
popping it down.
game is won and lost in the movement again. You know, it's at this point then you would you could then fire, and the pilot with the highest skill
Goes
fires
first.
first.
Yeah.
And this is where we introduce the dice. Okay.
Yeah. And your range band finder, which is in the
So-
bottom of the box.
There are 3 red dice and 3 green dice. And also in the box is a range finder. So let me grab that to get that out.
And because I've picked out the cards that these guys are, so for example, the Academy pilot, he's a number 1, so I've picked out the card for him. And I've picked out the card for the rookie X-wing pilot.
Yep.
And then that tells us what they can shoot. Right, so for example, if we're moving into the shooting phase,
Yep.
right, if you wanted to play this via the quick start rules,
Yes.
all you're doing is basically using this to say where you are.
If you're in range.
If you're in range, i.e., are you not further away than that?
Yes, so it's broken into 1, 2, 3 units.
Yeah.
So your maximum range is 3 units. At this point, it's
We're
just
both
from the
within
edge of the
one.
base to the edge of the base. Justin is within range band 1.
Yes. Now,
So-
because he's in range band 1, let's say the X-wing is shooting because he has the
Yep.
higher skill. Okay, so as standard, he's using 3 of these
Yep.
dice to do his shooting, but because you're in range band 1, he gets an extra shot at you. All right. We don't have 3, so I'll just re-roll.
Yeah.
What do we get?
1 hit.
1 hit.
So a hit is represented by either this star here, or this star with a hole in it is kind of an explosive hit. But for the sake of the starter rules, it's a hit. An eye is basically, you discount it, it's a miss, and a blank square is a miss. So it sees kind of little, like a star or a star with a hole in it that you're after. So I get 1, and obviously I get to re-roll a dice because I get 4 shots
Yep.
at him.
Now,
So I
remember,
re-roll it.
that's not the quick start rules. I kind of the way
Is that a
I've
kind of
been-
like a mix of
Yeah,
the
you
I-
can
I-
sort of budget if you want.
I've been introducing some people. We've been getting started in X-wing
Mm-hmm.
together at the gaming club, and what you find is you'll play the quick start rules for a few turns,
Mm-hmm.
and you're about halfway through your game and sitting thinking, well, I really know the
Let's up
basics
the
of what I'm
ante.
doing
Yeah.
Let's
here.
up the ante a lot.
Let's pick a couple of things this turn and throw them in, and you do that, and then the
Yeah.
next turn you go, I've got the gist of that. Let's go through the rule book and pick out another couple of things and
Yeah.
put those
And
in.
So the
Build,
rules
build,
the
build.
rules are set up in a way to make it easy to do that. That, you know, basically as you're playing through your first games, you can start to pick and choose some of the rules just to throw in, just to start making the
Get
game
yourself up to the
deeper
full
and
set,
more,
yeah.
more in depth.
It might mean that it's not perfectly balanced, but you don't care because you're just learning the game.
Yeah.
Right, so you re-rolled, did you?
Yes. So I got 2 hits.
Yeah.
Okay. At which point then Justin rolls his saves.
Yes.
Okay. Now his saves is the
green number?
The green number, and he's a 3. So Justin gets to roll 3 saves.
There you go.
And what Justin got exactly what he needed, because you ignore the eyeballs and the basic rules, okay? but these kind of little squiggly arrows going around a dot, that's kind of like a jink maneuver. That's you jinking out of the way. So he actually dodged both of those hits. So that's it. That is effectively the end of the turn, other than Justin gets to fire back. So.
But let me just alter this a bit. Okay, so let's say your X-Wing is there, and your TIE is over here.
Yeah.
All right, so that now puts the TIE fighter in range 3.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't really covered in the basic rules, like I've said, but I want to cover it so as you can quickly see why is this broken into 3 segments. All right, in this instance, let's do that again. So X-Wing is shooting.
X-Wing gets 3 as standard.
All right, so he gets 3, and he doesn't get an extra one this time because it's further away. It's not within the 1. You get an extra one if you're shooting within 1.
Yeah.
As soon as you're in 2 and 3, you don't.
Okay.
Okay, so what has he scored? He scored 1 hit.
Yeah.
The difference is, it's in defense. Number 3 is like number 1, except now that you're in the range 3,
The person defending gets the extra.
yeah.
So you get 4 dice.
So we've rolled 3, but you need 4, so you
dice.
get to.
you get 3 roll that, and you get.
So it's kind of the same as you're shooting, only in reverse. So then, if you're at number 2 range,
just straight
that's
shooting.
where it's shooting just as it is on the card.
Yeah. So it's, as games go, it's just so much fun. One of the things that I really like about it is as you start to get more and more ships onto the actual, I hesitate to call it battlefield, but onto the battlefield, movement becomes so important because they start to fly into each other or across each other's paths.
You're
and things
starting
like
to
that.
think, okay, he's moving to there, then he's getting to there. You're sort of having to judge wherever everybody's going to be by the end of your turn.
Yes.
And then there's a little bit more to the movement, although the movement is powered by these templates. Okay? Each dial, for example, let's see what have we got here. TIE Fighter. These red maneuvers that you guys done.
Okay.
Again, this isn't in the quick start rules. I don't think it's in the quick start rules.
No, I don't
No,
think
it's not.
But if
Okay.
you start to mix and match, as I did,
Yeah.
you can introduce some. So, if you're doing like a number 3...
You have 3 types of maneuver. You have green maneuvers, which basically cause you no problems at all.
Yeah.
You have white maneuvers, which are just normal maneuvers. So a green maneuver, if you have an R2 unit, for example, in this TIE fighter, if you do a green maneuver, that R2 unit can actually bring back a shield.
Yeah, that's
while
whenever
you're
you're
doing
getting into your
a green
upgrades
maneuver.
to balance the
White
points.
maneuvers tend to be just normal, and then red maneuvers put a stress or a strain on the ship. So how does a red maneuver manifest itself, Lloyd?
Okay, let's say then this TIE Fighter had done the move that Justin had done, okay?
Yeah,
So it was a
3 and
number
a flip.
3
Yeah.
and a flip. So it's come over, and he's flipped. Then we would take this stress counter
Yep.
and pop it beside him. I'll just turn around so you can see that. So now he's flying along with this stress counter. And while he has that stress counter, he can't be doing things like his barrel rolls and stuff. He can't perform his actions.
Yes.
Right? So what you would have to do is say that was your 1 turn. You've done that. There's some shooting has happened. You're still alive. You think, right, in the next turn, I want to be able to use my actions. Like,
Yeah.
I want
Basically,
to
I
be,
want
to
to
be able
barrel
to,
roll.
I want to be able to barrel roll. I want to be able to use focus. I want to be able to use my
Yeah, the other little one, I think it's an evasive maneuver
yeah.
one.
I want to be able to use an evade token.
Yeah.
Right. So what you need to do is you need to look through your wee disc. And here's it. Like, say for example, there's number 3 straight on, which is green.
So you need a green. If you do a red maneuver, then you need a green maneuver
To drop
to
the stress
recover
token.
from that,
Yeah.
to get rid of the stress token on it.
You can go on and do another white maneuver, for example.
Yes, but you'll keep your stress
Keep
token.
your stress token. So it'll end up carrying along with you.
Yeah.
So
So if you're going to do something
It's
really
big,
kind
heavy
of
maneuver.
yeah,
That
you're
hobbles you a
going
little bit for
Yeah.
paying for making that big maneuver.
you're going to pay for that for until
until
you
you
can stop.
pay the
So,
price.
Yeah. So if you're trying to get out of some real danger or something like that, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, because it'll probably take you 2, 3, maybe moves to get out of any real danger. At which point you're not going to be able to do an awful lot more. And if you slow down to try and take it
you're
off, the
start
chances
putting
are you're
yourself
going to be
back
caught.
into being caught.
Okay, I
Okay.
can see where that
yeah.
goes. Yeah.
And that's when it starts to get interesting, because the stress stops you doing your actions. So I want to get rid of my stress.
Yeah.
Let's do a 2 sort of
Shallow curve.
shallow curve. I can't see if that's in the pips, but you know, and that would be me de-stressing. I take
Yeah.
the stress token away straight away, which then allows me to use my action. 'Cause
Yeah,
if
and
you
an action includes shooting as well, does it? So if
no, you can still shoot.
You can still
when you're
shoot.
stressed. an action happens straight after you move. So he's moved, you now perform your action.
Yeah.
So say, for example...
Like, say the X-Wing was here. He just has you in sight. You do your barrel roll and just go, wee,
Yeah.
to jump out the way.
Oh, so
Yeah,
And that's...
like from the movie.
and that does exactly take you right out of range because your range.
you just go like
yeah,
that.
because you've
45
got the two
degrees,
V's
yeah.
in front of you.
Which is really cool.
That is
You know?
really cool.
So not
actually.
only do you move around like that with the flight path
Yeah, you
system,
can
they've
go
introduced the barrel roll.
Yeah.
Which really, you can be sitting there going, oh, I'm in range, and then
Yeah,
you're saying, oh, wait a minute, oh, barrel roll. Oh, no, you can't shoot me no more.
yeah. So if the X-Wing has just came in behind you, say you have one of the higher TIE fighters, he's just came in behind you, you're going along and going, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, wee.
Yeah, just flip it out of the way.
Yeah.
But the X-Wing can't barrel roll, can it?
No.
Yeah, it
No,
doesn't
it's
have
got
that skill.
focus and target lock, which is a different one, which I think we could cover later because it's
Yeah.
a little more complicated.
Then the other thing to notice is if you try to do another stress maneuver while stressed,
Yeah.
then the person you're playing gets to decide what your maneuver is.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that I hadn't read.
So how does that work?
I have no idea. I haven't played it.
Okay.
There's another fella there more au fait with the rules than I was.
Yeah.
And I was taking my party through. We were just going from the quick start rules up. And
Yeah.
he was telling me about that. So
Well, that,
have to find out
that
about that.
we have yet to find out about them. Well, look, guys, as games go, it is fabulous. It's fabulously popular. This is going to be kind of one of the cores of the club that we're trying to establish, and we're hoping to get even like a little mini tournament and stuff like that going. So it's a great game that you can pick up very quickly, and then as Lloyd says, you can pick and choose the rules that you want to add as you get more and more au fait with the game. Because let's be honest, nobody wants a game that's completely bogged down with rules and you're having to constantly
Yeah,
refer
but
back to the rule
at the same
book.
time, you don't want to be playing the quick start rules every week.
No, you want to gradually add to it.
But it's perfect, the quick start rules, because we sat down, and the fella who's au fait with it sat down and sort of did a little tutorial, which was great. But I looked around and saw, I see some eyes glazing here. When I break us away from the table, because, for example, our sister was down, she'd never played it.
Yeah.
And another guy, Ian, was down, he'd never played it. I thought, right, we'll just go back to the quick start rules.
Yeah.
We played a couple of rounds.
You started to get
so
a
they
favour
got the
then.
knack of, this
Yeah,
is how I move.
Get that turn sequence down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is how you shoot. And then you'll very quickly find you're all moving and shooting and you go, right, now's the time to introduce something like, let's introduce the stress token.
Yeah,
For
now
example-
everybody's au fait with getting about, shooting at people. Right, let's change it up slightly, let's give them a bit more,
And some of the other things you can introduce is, Justin, go get me the Millennium Falcon.
Okay, one sec,
Right,
guys,
while he
going off
gets
camera. Wait!
But I was making a point that I hadn't finished. For example, I introduced the stress token,
Yes.
right? But because you're playing rules and you're adding them as you go, Ian, for example, is playing the stress token and he's like, there's no real point in playing this stress token. I was like, not yet. Wait till our next round when I introduce focus and whatnot, and then you'll see when we actually start to use actions what the stress token is all about.
Yeah. So, some of the other things you can do is, obviously we're only talking about a couple of TIE fighters and an X-Wing here, but as you get more and more stuff, you can introduce things like this.
My baby.
What a beautiful, beautiful pre-painted model. The other great thing about this game, and this is why I'm so attracted to games like this and Dust at the moment, is whenever you're very short on time, and you don't, one of the biggest killers for us is clipping and gluing models together and painting them.
Painting.
You know, it's
That's my curse.
being able to get this stuff that is just so nicely put together. There's nothing you need to do to these. They're just really nicely done straight out of the box. The other thing you can add is things like asteroids, which add a lot of fun to the game, because suddenly then you're starting to try and swim
You
in
suddenly
and out
have
of
terrain. You're trying to dodge out the road off.
But while you're introducing new ships, you're talking about the Millennium Falcon, that's one of the other things of the game, right? So you're using all these templates, and everybody's using the same templates.
Yeah, doesn't
but
matter what
not
ship you're on.
everybody can pick the same maneuvers.
Yes,
Yeah,
all the
'cause
maneuvers
all
are
of a
different
sudden-
depending on the disc.
All the ships start to feel very unique.
Yeah.
Here she is, the YT-30.
So the
She has her own
YT-30,
disc.
there's a lot of ones and twos in there.
Yeah.
That
So I
once you
still
start
have
going
this.
into the threes and fours, there's a couple of stress moves there. It's
Yeah, so she's bigger, she's slower, she's heavier.
yeah.
And if I remember right, there should be a little chart in here. Or is it in here? No, it's not in that one. It must be in a different box, but
Yeah.
it shows you exactly what maneuvers the ships can make. So it shows you this ship will make this ship will make
Yeah.
this ship will make this.
And because of that, some of the ships are easier to move around. So, for example, you've just lifted up some asteroids.
Yes.
Some ships are easier to dart in and around asteroids.
Yeah.
Because the way we were playing it is if you flew over an asteroid, you rolled a dice to see if you took any damage. And
Yeah.
that's what killed my last X-Wing.
So there's all sorts of things. In XLBS, I'm going to talk to you guys because I have an idea for a space station that I want to talk about. But look, guys, we're going to leave it at that. X-Wing, definitely our game of the weekend. It's going to be a game that we're going to be playing for a long time. It is fabulous. You will not be disappointed. If you're any kind of a fan of the Star Wars universe, you will love this game.
Get 2 starter boxes.
And
two
the
starter
big
boxes.
ships just came out as well.
Yes, there's
Wave
some
3 came
there's
out not long ago.
There's some really cool stuff on the way. So if you want to check that out, just hop on over to beastsofwar.com. We'll try and get some links below to make that easy for you. Guys, we're going to call it at that. We hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And other than that, we will see all you backstagers and anybody that fancies joining backstage to join us in XLBS bright and early tomorrow morning. So until next week, have a great weekend.